We are live, 5 years, 1,372 weekday shows, all beginning with COVID. And today is our 5-year celebration. Yay! I am so excited to have a lot of guests today. And I have a ton of prizes, and we need you to be actively engaged. If you've never been engaged before, we need you in the chat. We need you encouraging. We need to, we're going to have a lot of different ways. We're going to give away prizes. We're going to give away prizes on the live show, so people watching live can get a chance. We're going to get give away prizes on the replays, so people over the next few days can win on the replays, because we've been here for celebrating 5 years. It's just hard to believe. Okay, so let's play the full opening and get the show started.
It's Art School Live with Eric Rose. Now, here's your host, Eric Rose.
Well, it all started, it's just really kind of a blur to me now, but when COVID was going on, when we first got the announcement about COVID the first week, I was pacing the floors because here's what happened. We got, by the second day of lockdowns, we had almost all the people who were scheduled for the plein air convention canceled. All the people scheduled for the Publishers Invitational and Fall Color Week canceled. Pretty much our business dried up instantly. People weren't buying videos from painttube.tv. People weren't doing anything. And we were in panic mode. And nothing was working. Of course, we were all frightened. We didn't know what was going on. We'd never been through anything like this before. And so I thought, I need to do something. So I was praying about that. And I thought, I just need to come on every day and reassure everybody. And that's what I did. So about 3-4 days into it, I came on and I did the very first show. We didn't even have a name for it at the time. I just came on and we had a lot of people who showed up. We ended up doing this show at about the 2-week point. There were a lot of people who were tuning in and were discovering us, thousands of people, as a matter of fact, and they started getting involved in the chat, and they were meeting every day in the chat because it was nice to be able to communicate with somebody, because we were all isolated, right? All around the world. So in the chat, we were communicating. And after about 2 weeks, I thought, this is really, really hard to do this every day for 2 weeks. And I did it solid, 2 weeks, solid, 7 days a week for 2 weeks. I thought, okay, I'm going to end this because it's going to be over any minute, right? And I just thought, well, it just needs to come to an end. So there was a group of people, you're going to learn and meet some of them later today in the show, but there was a group of people who said, well, we need to meet every day if Eric's going to end the show. And so they started a Facebook group and started meeting there. Well, when I realized that, I thought, well, I have to keep this going for them. And so I decided to keep it going. Now, that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. We did, for the first 7 months, we did a show every day for 7 days a week. It was exhausting, if you can imagine. And of course, I'm running a business and I've got employees to feed and I'm trying to figure out how to survive. And on top of this, I'm needing to do a show every day, which means a lot of preparation, a lot of promotion and things like that. And then after 7 months of 7 days a week, I finally said, okay, I got to go to 5 days a week. I got to have a couple of days off. And so we went to 5 days a week, and we have continued 5 days a week ever since then. So what's really interesting, though, is what has happened with the numbers. Now, the numbers got to be pretty big. The viewing numbers got to be pretty big in the early stages, but they weren't really, really, really big. But that all changed. So something happened as we got to about the 4-year mark. We went at about the 4-year mark, we went from a couple million views to about 10 million views. And then in the last year, we added a whole lot more views. We're up to, I think, 17.5 million views now on this show. So, and that's because you guys are engaged. It's because you're sharing it with other people. And the whole goal of this show, in the beginning, it was just to be able to hold your hand and be there for you. But the whole goal of this was to help people learn to paint, to help people understand that if they don't believe they can do it, they can do it. We had hundreds and hundreds of emails and texts and other forms of communication where people were coming out of the woodwork saying, you know what, I never believed I could do this. I never believed that I could become a painter. And I watched this show and I became a painter. We had hundreds of people who said, I used to be a painter when I was younger, when I was a teenager, but I gave it up because life got in the way. I had a job and I had a family, and we needed to be able to, feed the family. So I didn't do it as an artist. And so now I've come back to it. We've had people say, I never became an artist because my parents discouraged me because you could never make a living as an artist. And now because of the show, I'm re-inspired and I've come back to it. We've had literally millions of people who have learned to paint on this show. Now, it's interesting how the mind works, because I had set a goal before COVID. I set a goal. Some of you may remember this. I set a goal and I announced it in email to my email list of people who follow on the email. And I said, my goal is to teach 1 million people to paint. And I put it in my head, and instead of saying I said I'm teaching 1 million people to paint. And here we are now. Who knows what will happen in the future, but here we are at 5 years, 1,372 hours of shows, hundreds of guests, and here we are. We've taught millions and millions and millions of people to paint. It's so gratifying. We have some guests today. We are going to invite some of you on camera. If you'd like to come on camera, here's how to do it. Just go to artschool.live/stream. Now, here's the deal. You'll get there and it's going to say, turn your mic or your camera on, put your name in, and enter studio. That will not put you on live immediately. We will then call you in as we get a chance. Now, today, we're going to have guests on. I had nothing to do with any of this. This was all prepared by my producer, 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗲, who is a rock star. And 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗲, come on screen real quickly and wave to everybody and say hello. All right. Will you?
Hello, everybody.
So 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗲 has been here pretty much since day one and has been really rocking it for us. And she works tireless hours on this program because, of course, getting guests takes a lot of time. And so she's really the muscle behind all of this. I get to show up. She does all the heavy lifting. So go into the chat right now and give props to 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗲 because she is a rock star. So thank you to 𝗦𝗵𝗃𝗲. Now, again, if you want to come on stream, just go to artschool.live/stream. Now, we're going to talk about prizes because I decided we're going to give away thousands of dollars worth of prizes today. All right. And some of them are going to be done live, and some of those prizes are going to be done so that people watching replays will have a chance, because our largest viewing is actually in replays. Live, we get a few hundred every day, but then we get thousands or tens of thousands by the end of a couple of days. And so we're going to do prizes. So let's pull up some of those prizes. All right. First off, here's how you're going to win. Now, we're going to do a couple of things too, but this is the main one. To win a prize, you're going to go to artschool.live, not .com, but artschool.live, and you're going to enter in your name and your email address, and then we're going to pick from there. And so I'm going to announce what some of the prizes are going to be, and I may just come up with some others as well. We're going to do a digital subscription to each Plein Air magazine and Fine Art Connoisseur magazine, and these are great magazines, and they have, put that slide back, and they have 30% extra content in the digital editions. All right, next, we're going to give away a whole bunch of digital versions of art instruction videos from the 600 or 700 that we have produced at painttube.tv. So we have a whole bunch of them. We'll go through those and pick a bunch of them and give them away. Some of the best painting videos we've ever done in courses. Next, we have, we're going to give away a full ticket to the Plein Air Convention in Lake Tahoe that's coming up in May. Next, that's a big prize, by the way. We're going to give away a ticket to each Watercolor Live, Plein Air Live, Acrylic Live, Pastel Live, and Realism Live, our virtual online conferences. Next, we're going to give away a pair of value specs, or several pair, and we're going to give away some easel brush clips that you clip onto your easel to keep your brushes under control. What else do we have? Oh, we have, that's it. Okay, so let's add another prize to this. I don't have a graphic for this, but we did in January, we did Art Business Mastery, which was a full day of some of the top experts on business and marketing for artists. And we that was basically a $100 ticket. The replays are now available, so we're going to give away a replay to that. And secondly, we're going to give away to next Art Business Mastery, which is coming in November to help you plan your year. And we don't have that website up or anything yet, but we will give that away. And we probably will just give away a couple other things. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling like we should give something away. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring on a guest here pretty soon, but we want to give away something that is really, really special. And we're going to give away the artist who was the top viewed artist on Art School Live of all time. And she has a video with us, and we probably don't have a graphic for it, but it's Cindy Barron. And we're going to give away one of her videos, and we're going to do that right now. So what you're going to do, this is not through the email, but you got to do that too. You want to go into the chat right now and just say, pick me. All right. And we're randomly going to pick a name, and we're going to give away, and you have your, you will get a digital version of this. We're trying to get away from DVDs because they're costly and clunky. So we're going to try to get you all working on digital versions. So you guys go in there right now and say, pick me. And while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce our first guest ever. Now, this is the very first guest I ever had on this show. And this is a mindset expert and someone who's a dear friend and someone who also taught on Art Business Mastery. It is 𝗦𝗵𝗵cie_. Are we there? Do we have Lee? There she is. Look at you. You're all dressed up.
Well, I couldn't make my tuxedo was still in the cleaner today. But well, thank you so much. Great to see you, Eric.
Nice to see you, Lee. And I'm honored that you would be here today. You were the very first guest on Art School Live. And if you remember, my goal was to get people thinking positively about what we were going through. Do you remember that?
Absolutely. Yes. And congratulations on this 5 years. There's very few people on earth who could have done this every day so much. And I'm so impressed that you've done this and you've helped so many creative people, you know, get off their butt and do the right thing, not only to be creative, but, you know, make some money and have fun.
Well, you know, it really was, thank you. It really was about showing up. Right. We found out that people needed reinforcement. Right. We came up with a phrase kind of accidentally, which was keep your head in the game. And the whole idea was don't let this news bother you. You know, we're freaking out. Everything's going on. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's true and what's not true. And as a result, I just wanted to say, you know, stay focused, keep your head in the game. So I would love for you, because you're, how many books have you authored now? I want to say like 30 or 40 million. How many have you done?
17
books. I mean, I don't think I personally know anybody who's done 17 books. So would you just, while we've got you here, and I know that you weren't prepared for this, but would you talk just briefly to people, and especially to artists or people who want to become artists? Would you just give us a quick download on what we need to be doing to keep our heads our heads in the game and to make sure that we're hitting our goals? What would your best advice be?
Well, the very first thing that I would do, Eric, is I would take charge of the caliber of information that goes into my brain, because we're all self-fulfilling prophecies. So that would primarily mean stay away from the media as much as possible. Focus on your own tribe, your own people. Focus on, what can you create in the world? And I'm a creative. I primarily write. I mean, you could see I have my hobby, I do hobby painting, but the truth is we're self-fulfilling prophecies. And I have a little sign up here. It says, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And it's a little reminder on my desk every day that I am creating my reality by the quality of information that I'm putting in my brain. And the most important thing, Eric, is control your self-talk. Because when we get a little stressed, and everybody does, we tend to start to spiral down into unworthiness, and no one's going to buy my stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing. And all of that is very detrimental, because the brain literally takes a hint from how you're thinking. And since what you're thinking on an average day, if you're watching the news, is going to be, at least 80% bad. And what we have to do to be creative, whether it's painting or writing or anything creative, is to really be very mindful and loving ourselves enough, and I call it self-care, is to actually listen to things and read things that uplift you, that excite you. And as far as your goals go, we're all very visual people. Make sure that you have on your bathroom mirror, all the places. I have them in my closet. I have all my goals. And not only do I see them, I write out every single day, and I call this scripting, at my personal story as if it's already happened. Like, I'm currently working on my 18th book, so I'm writing. And so it was, 𝗦𝗵𝗵cie just completed her 18th book. And it was a fantastic book. It sold like crazy. It made a bestseller. She was very excited about going to different groups and doing book signings and things like that. And by doing that, you're actually imprinting on your mind this picture of exactly what you want to happen in your life. And it's also important that when you wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night, while your mind is very calm. Example, when you wake up in the morning, pretend that you have a TV set with 3 channels in your head. And on one of those channels, I want you to see yourself, that you're selling your work. I want you to see how much people love it and appreciate it. I want you to see the prosperity that's going to come to you from your efforts. I also want you to see how healthy and vital you are, how excited you are about life, how that when you scan the landscape of reality, you see opportunities for yourself. Just see yourself in a harmonious, fantastic environment. So just think of them as TV channels, and you're going to turn into, this is my future channel. And so you fill in all the details, but before you go to bed at night, these are the 2 times that imprints on your subconscious mind and your conscious mind this information. Now, keep in mind that your conscious mind takes direction. Your conscious mind is telling your subconscious mind exactly the pictures and the reality that you want to happen. And I, Eric, have several people in one of my women's groups and also in one of my mastermind groups who are full-time artists. And once I started teaching them about that we can forecast our future by the words that we say and the images that we put into our mind. Because again, as I said in the beginning, our life follows the script of what you put in, not what anybody else puts in, but what you put into your mind. So it is imperative that you read great books. Here's a good book, Success is an Inside Job. This goes through how you program your mind, how to use affirmations, how to get excited about your life, because this is your creation. Your life literally is your greatest artwork. So why not really celebrate yourself, really appreciate yourself? And remember, if you don't value you, no one else will.
Well, that was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I saw recent research from some university that they actually now know that if you make statements, and this, we've talked about this, if you make statements in the present, I am instead of I'm gonna,
Right.
it makes a huge difference. So I am $100,000 selling artist. I am a billionaire. I am a whatever it is. And I got to the point where I so deeply believed that I was going to be hitting 1 million people, teaching 1 million people, that it just went out of control. And I don't know how, I don't understand how it works, but they do know that it actually does work. It's not hocus pocus. So Lee, I want to thank you for being on. I know you don't have a lot of time. Lee's speaking nationally and internationally. She's got all these books. And I would encourage you guys to look up 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄, Google her, and buy her books. They're terrific books. I have them all. I've read them all. They're fabulous. And Lee, I also want to just say thank you for being such a good friend. We met at a mastermind group that I joined. She got up on stage and told the group of people at a convention I was attending about a mastermind group that she was creating, where we would work together as, instead of just one person trying to figure things out, we would work together with multiple people. That's the mastermind, right? We're all together, one big mind. And I joined that group, and my business and my career just started to soar from that point forward, thanks to Lee and her great advice. And I don't know if you know this, but in January, I think you do know this, I launched my own mastermind groups.
Yes.
And it's going really well. People are making great progress, and we're having a really terrific time. So, and it's all because of you.
Well, that is so kind of you. I really appreciate that. But let's really put the crown on your head, because the truth is, everybody is exposed to information, Eric. It is the rare soul on earth who actually takes information to heart and actually starts to implement it, that actually takes the risk and the time and the energy to go way past what other people do. Our society is filled with people who do a lot of talking, but they don't actually start to enact on their goals. They don't put themselves out there. They like to stay in their comfort zone, and no one super successful ever stays in their comfort zone. They're always a lifetime learner. They're always investing in themselves. And you're right. The mastermind theory, for anybody who hasn't read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, this would be a book that you must have on your list to read, because what Eric was saying was that when we get together, let's just say if there's 12 people and one person has an idea about something that they asked the group about, the other 11 brains are absorbing that, and they are actually coming up with intuitive things to do, strategy things to do, mechanical things to do. And you really, the truth is, nobody becomes successful alone. You have to have what I call a council of people around you who can call you on your stuff, help you when you're, not feeling excited or have a clear vision. But I too am in many mastermind groups. I run groups, I'm in them, and it's people who will really, like you, Eric, go out on a limb, do something different, be willing to envision the outcome that you want, because our society and our educational system never told people about their natural abilities and talents, that if you envision something, you actually call forth the talent and the ability and the circumstances to do it. And you might call that magic. I just call it good strategy.
Well, Lee, thank you again so much. I think it's really terrific that you are kicking off the next 5 years, and just God bless you. Thank you for being here and being part of this and being part of my life and giving me the encouragement. I learned something that really was important. As you know, I was in business before I got into the art world, and I was just all about making money. And I never felt really comfortable with that. But when I got into the art world, I started painting, and I came up with this. I had so many bad experiences learning to paint. And you and I have talked about this. You've gone through some of that yourself.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to change the world. I'm going to teach people to paint. I'm going to make it easy for them to learn. I want them to believe in themselves. And when I got purpose, everything changed. And suddenly I didn't care about money anymore. But when I didn't care about money and I got purpose, the money came. So it's amazing how things change.
Yes, purpose is absolutely the biggest secret there is, that when you're driven by a vision to help other people, to assist people in anything, or to bring pleasure to them. And I think a lot of artists, as I talk to them, don't realize that their artwork is actually a great inspiration to people on a visual level. I am a big believer that beauty is the first step to great genius. And so for everybody who's listening who is actually a real artist, not a hobby artist like myself, please understand that what you're doing in life is much more profound than just putting paint on a canvas. What you're actually doing is creating a legacy of energy that can inspire people. It can help with your own family and on the life that you want to live. And so don't be afraid of pricing. Eric and I talk about this all the time. You have to be confident about yourself, because anybody who is buying art has to feel that the artists themselves are very calm and confident about their work. And we could talk for hours about that, but I just want to remind everybody that in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about that all brains are talking to each other at the same time. There's actually no secret. So if you internally feel like I'm not valuable, or my work's not good enough, or it's not worth this, on some level, another person who's in your presence picks up your fear. And when people pick up anyone else's fear, they primarily on some level are afraid to do business with them. So again, not only is your job to do great art in the world, your job is to actually value and love yourself for the contribution that you are putting forth in the world.
Lee, you're a rock star. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you. Thanks for doing this today.
I love you. Bye-bye.
I love you too. Bye-bye. Wow, what a real gift to have her on. I'm just so honored. Okay, I want to remind you guys that we have a ton of prizes to give away. If you just tuned in, this is our 5-year anniversary show. We have been on 1,372 hours since March 25th, 2020. So we actually extended this to April Fool's Day because I was traveling. But we got a bunch of prizes and we've got a bunch of guests. We're going to get to all of that right now. So I said we're going to give away Cindy Barron's video. A lot of people in the chat were going in and saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. So I'm going to pick somebody who said, pick me right now. And we're going to go in here and see if we can find some. Wow, man, there's so many. Okay, let's see. Where'd they go? There we go. Okay. Jerry, let's see here. Jerry Maloney on YouTube. You're going to get Cindy's video. So Amandine, write that down and we'll figure out how to reach you. You should email Amandine. Actually, that would be the best thing. The next one, I know Cindy's going to be like, hey, what about, I'm supposed to make money on these. The next one is 𝗬𝗏 Kuiper. 𝗬𝗏 Kuiper is going to be our winner. And I'm going to do one more. And that is, okay, a lot of people still doing it. Okay. Pat, nope, that's not, she didn't say pick me. Yvette Armstrong, you are also a winner of that streaming video from Cindy Barron. So congratulations. Speaking of Cindy Barron, we have Cindy Barron on now, and Cindy holds the record, the highest all-time viewership on a single show, 317,000 views for one show. So congratulations to Cindy Barron. Come on, Cindy.
Hey.
Can you imagine? How did you do it?
That's amazing. All I was doing was slinging paint.
Yeah, well, that's all we all do, but some of us do it better than others. I'm just saying.
Hi, everyone.
Well, what a terrific record to have. First off, you're such a generous person, and your instruction is so beautifully good. You're such a great painter. Well, I'll brag on you just a little bit. There's an art gallery in Monterey, Carmel, which only carries deceased artists, and they carry the best of the best. It's called 𝗟𝗏 Fine Art, and they don't carry living artists to speak of. And I think they carry Cindy as their living artist. They may have one other, but I think that's pretty. That says that you paint like a 100-year-old dead person.
Yeah. Well, when they called me, I said, Bill called me. He goes, "I'd like to represent you." And I said, "Well, I don't want to go that route yet of dying, but I said I'm flattered, so here I am."
Well, that's quite an honor. That's one of the best galleries in America. Have some of the best work in America, and to be in there is really, really fine. I know you're in some other galleries as well. So you have had a tremendous career. You continue to win awards. You continue to do things, break records. What is your best advice to an artist who's watching this, who might be just at the early stages or might be a little frustrated? What can you say to them that would give them a little encouragement?
You got to paint. You got to paint every day. You have to stay creative. If there's a way, whatever, you've got to figure this out. Every individual is different, but you got to stay creative. Your mind has got to keep going. I tell everybody my mind's a little hyper, but you just got to stay creative. You got to stay engaged, and you got to paint every day, even if it's a little something, or read an art book. You just have to stay engaged somewhat every day. That's my best advice. Don't give up.
All right. Well, I think that's terrific advice. Well, Cindy, thank you and congratulations for holding the record. We've got so much going on today. We don't want to linger, but God bless you. Thank you for being here. And everybody, if you have not yet watched Cindy's show, look up Cindy Barron on the YouTube account and watch it. Everything we've ever done is there, all 1,300 plus videos. So Cindy, thank you so much. And do you have anything big you're going to be doing soon?
If I showed you my chalkboard this year, I was going to take a step back and just paint for Cindy to get new things out there. My schedule this year is it's packed, and I love it. And it's all places I want to go paint, so I have to do it. So I'm full. I've got a lot of things. I've got auctions. I've got everything in my studio has a place it's going. So it's a jam-packed year. I'm blessed. I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed. And you got to keep that in mind. Just stay very grateful and very blessed.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Cindy.
Thank
All right.
you.
We now
Take
have
care.
a video, which is a highlight of some of the best moments of the demo from Cindy's show. Let's watch that now. If you paint in watercolor, this is going to be a giant gift to you. Cindy Barron, what are you going to do today?
Well, today I'm going to show you how it's taken me many, many years to figure this out, how to make your watercolors very rich.
So watercolors are typically kind of watercolory, but you have completed a system we're going to show today that is going to absolutely blow people away.
Yes, I'm very unusual. There's no doubt. I'm very different from all the other watercolorists, but like I said, it's taken me many years to get this far.
All right, well, let's get this show rolling.
The one thing I want to stress, yes, I am different from other watercolorists, but the one thing I need to stress very much is I put a lot of time in my paintings. None of my paintings are quick. I let all my students know that. So what I'm going to do here is show you how I get that richness in the layers of paint, the glazing. There's several different ways you can say this, but I put paint on top of paint after it dries. So I'm going to get started here because we have a limited time and I want to make sure I get so much in here. A spray bottle. I have very many different sizes of these spray bottles. It's just water inside.
Well, I thought you had vodka in there to make for a happy morning.
Say what?
I said, I thought you had vodka in there to make for a happy morning.
I don't do vodka. I would do scotch, but not vodka. So here's the wild part. You ready? I'm going to pick up yellow. And I'm not touching the brush to the paper. So I'm remembering my light source. I'm going to pick up red. Now there's a method to the reason why I picked up red. I don't want to make green, so I want to make a nice warm tone. So this is just Winsor red and Winsor yellow that I'm using. Now bear with me a little bit. I'm going to turn the paper because I want this to mix. This is how I mix on the paper. I do not mix on my palette because watercolor is special. I like watercolor to blend as nature wants it to blend. So once again, I'm going to blend these. And I'm going to blend these so I'm manipulating it so I know where each color wants to blend into the other.
Paul has a question. It says, how did you come about this technique?
Trial and error. Plus, there's a great artist. Of course, I took it past what she was doing. Her name was Nita Engel. She passed away several years ago, but she was my light bulb moment. But she wouldn't do as much of this as I do. I took it to the next level where everything gets splattered. And then I just whiten my corners down, my edges down. And this basically is it for this stage. I will let this dry, but here it is dry. So the beauty of, you know, on those cooking classes where they bake cakes and the next thing you know, it comes out of the oven done. So here's that step I just showed you. And so now I'm going to do it again. Sure. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of black because I make my yellows in both my mediums, my greens. Okay, so now you can see here was that first wash, the second wash on top of the first wash. Now I'm going to fast forward a lot and take you to what I'm working on. And now you'll be able to see the difference. So keep this in mind. Okay, so now you can see the first wash, the second wash, and a third wash. So I went in and did it again because we have a short period of time. So I fast forwarded this a little bit more. Here's the third wash. So I went on top of what you just saw a third time and blended it, made some hard and soft edges, which is important in any medium and any painting you do. And then I went forward again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 washes on top of each other. So that's my white wash, and I'm using the colors I had here to make a green. And I do layers of this too. So you're probably going, my gosh, everything's a layer. That's what I was trying to express to you guys, the richness of layers in watercolors or glazes, whichever word you want to use. So now I'm basically dry brushing because I want some of that transparency to come out, but I'm going to make a foreground grasses in front. And I'll go on top of this with layers. And once again, it's time consuming, but I love, it's taken me years to figure this out, but I love doing this. I love detail. I also love the impressionistic part that comes with doing watercolors this way. So each one is a learning of each painting. I learned something from each painting. You can just see, I'm just dragging my brush up, but I have such nice rich color under here, and the opaque on top of it is giving it a really nice feel to it. Okay, what I want to do is show you how I'll pick out, because I have this wonderful color in here, these nice darks, but I'm going to pick out a trunk just with water on my brush. And I'm just going to lay down a bead of water. It's basically water. This is dirty water now.
Love that dirty water.
And then I dab it. And I'm going to pick out the trunk of a tree. But now, can you see this? Look at these layers now. This is the exciting part, and how each layer is interesting with all the colors, all the different, the way you saw the way I manipulated the colors by turning the paper. But this is what's exciting. I'm building depth. I love that. That's the key to all my paintings. I want to be able to have the artist walk through a painting. So that's the key. And I'll go on top, and everything I'm doing right now is basically dry brushing. Okay, so this is one. This is just a small, I think it's 6x6, something like that. And this is, once again, all about the layers. And I'm not done with it because I want to see how many layers I can create. So this is why I play with this one a lot. And
Right.
so.
Well, thank you, Cindy, and have a safe trip. And thanks again for doing this. We'll see you on Watercolor Live. Well, that was really nice. And again, to thank you to Cindy Barron. The top viewing video, we talked to Cindy a minute ago. So I want to remind you guys that Cindy also has a video out with us called Elegant Landscapes. This one's in oil, and that's available at painttube.tv. So we should make sure to check that out. Okay, now we got a lot of guests today. In case you just tuned in, this is our 5-year anniversary celebration show, 1,372 shows, been here every weekday since COVID began. And well, I don't know how much longer we'll keep going. It's like, don't know how much I can do, but we'll stick with it for a while. In the meantime, we have a few people in the waiting room. Also want to remind you guys that we have prizes now. So if you want to win a prize today, you go to artschool.live, enter your name and your email, and the winners will be announced on the 4th. That way you can win. If you're in the replays, you still have a chance to win. Now, just to go over what we're giving away today, let's just do a quick overview. Subscriptions to Plein Air Magazine and Fine Art Connoisseur Magazine. Digital art instruction courses. We have several. We have 600 of them that we've produced. We're going to give away a bunch of those. We also have a ticket to the Plein Air Convention coming up in May in Tahoe. It's a big ticket. The next one would be a ticket to each Watercolor Live, Plein Air Live, Acrylic Live, Pastel Live, and Realism Live, one each. And also a ticket to Art Business Mastery Day and a replay ticket, a replay ticket to that for this year's and then next year's. And then we'll give away some easel brush clips and value specs. Okay, so make sure, let's show one more time how to get in there. Just go to artschool.live and enter your information. Okay. Now we have some people in the waiting room. Who do we have?
Hi, Eric.
Hello.
How are
Susan,
you?
I am so happy to be here with you.
Congratulations on 5 years. That's an amazing achievement.
Well, thank you. You've been here pretty much all those 5 years. It's amazing how much you've tuned in. What's your story? What would you like to share with people about your experience with this program over 5 years?
Well, I actually started around day 65 and I was on YouTube. And then I heard stuff was going on over on Facebook. So I joined the Facebook stream. And it's had an incredible impact on my art practice. I've won a ticket on day 365 to Plein Air Live. And from then on, my growth as an artist just skyrocketed. Since then, I've watched Pastel Live. I've been to pretty much all the other live events. And this year, I had my first solo exhibition in oil and pastels.
Wow.
And it just keeps going. And I owe it all to you and this show. It's been an amazing journey, and I've been so happy to be a part of it. I've met so many people from being on this show. I come back because we're like a family. That is really the most important thing about it. It's a community that you have developed for us, artists for artists, and I do really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. It's so exciting to see how your career has blossomed and winning a show after learning here and learning on some of the virtual events. So thank you so much. We're just doing a brief hello, but God bless you, and thanks for being here every day.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay, who do we have next? Oh my goodness, Angela. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yay, I can hear you.
Okay, so Angela, tell everybody where you are and what's your story.
So I'm from Hayward, Wisconsin. I love your show. I've been watching it on and off for the last year and a half, and I've been learning so much about painting.
Awesome. And what kind of painting do you do?
So I started out in oils, but I've been really getting into acrylics the last few months and did my first art festival down in Florida a few weeks ago.
Outstanding. And is that a result of watching the show?
Absolutely,
Oh,
100%.
that's great news. Well, we love that. We love that. Thank you for saying hello.
Thank you so much for your show and all the help.
Thank you. Keep painting. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's see. Who else do we have now? We have, I think, one more. Nope, we've lost them.
She disappeared.
She
I'm sure she'll be
disappeared.
back.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about the Dreamliners for a second. This is, I alluded to this earlier, but when we were meeting every day during the first 2 weeks and everybody was talking to each other in the chat, and I let them know that I was thinking about ending the show after 2 weeks, they decided to start a Facebook page called the Dreamline Artists. And everybody joined it, and they had their own, you know, they have book clubs and they have all kinds of community that they do and chat. But I decided to keep the show going because of what they said. And so I've kept it going, but they kept the Dreamline Artists going. Last I heard, they were up to 4,000 members. And we are so excited about them. They have been right there with me through the whole thing and showing up and giving encouragement and support. And by the way, I needed encouragement and support too, because I, like you all, I was freaking out a little bit myself, and I didn't know what was going to happen. None of us did. And so we really were in this together. And so we have some people now from the Dreamline Artists. Let's bring them on right now. Let's start with Nancy, Linda, and Jeff. So we have Nancy Etherton West, who founded the group, along with Jeff Eickhoff and 𝗦𝗵cie_𝗶𝘹, who's in Italy. Jeff, where are you?
I'm in the Netherlands, in The Hague.
In the Netherlands. All right, terrific. So what I want to do is let's bring you on one at a time and tell your story. So let's start with Nancy, because she founded the group. Nancy, what's the story? Netherlands.
Hi, Eric, and congratulations to everyone on 5 years. My goodness, you've said the story pretty well. We were all watching you in the very early days, you know, 7 days a week. And some of us were having coffee, like I'm on the West Coast of, you know, the United States, and Linda was making pasta in Italy for dinner, and Jeff is all over the place. But we had so many folks that became friends watching you and keeping our head in the game, which you were, that we just couldn't stand the idea of you ending the show. So we had to bond together. And you're right, we're up north of 4,000 members. We're still very, very active. Even last week, we added quite a few people from Acrylic Live, and we appreciate that. And we just love being a part of the Streamline family.
Well, and we love you being a part of it. I want to emphasize, though, that this is your own thing. This is not, you know, Streamline doesn't control it in any way. It's just something that you did to be in collaboration with us, and we really appreciate it. Let's get Jeff and 𝗦𝗵cie on. What are your stories? What are your thoughts about the last 5 years?
Oh, time flies. I have to say that when the pandemic happened, I was over here, you know, in the Netherlands just with my family, and I didn't really know a lot of people. So at the same time, I was trying to learn how to paint, and I found your channel actually, and started watching these shows. And not only was it a great way to start to learn a lot of technique, because I couldn't really take workshops during the pandemic, but I connected with all these people. And in the last 5 years, as I travel around for my day job, I've actually been able to meet up with probably 30 or 40 people out of this group over the last few years. So it's been a fantastic experience.
Well, and you're doing a great job painting. Were you painting before the pandemic?
No, I studied architecture, so I have a little bit of a drawing background, but I didn't do any painting for the last 30 plus years.
So you really got a lot of instruction here.
Yeah, no, it was a great crash course. Pandemic was, I was blessed during the pandemic.
Well, you're doing a great job, and it's fun to watch your posts and see how you're traveling the world in your job and connecting with the other Dreamline artists. So it's really fantastic. Thank you for being a part of this community and making so much happen.
No, it's my pleasure. Thanks, Eric.
All right, 𝗦𝗵cie_𝗶𝘹 and you're in Medina, Italy, is that right?
Mayda,
I'm sorry.
which is exactly halfway between Milan and Switzerland.
Oh, well, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You
I've
have a
been
lot of
here
beautiful places to paint around there.
42 years.
So what's your story?
Well, I had done an in-person workshop, drawing workshop with Juliet Aristides in Scotland 6 months before the pandemic hit. And then Italy got hit hard and first and very hard. And we were under total lockdown. And Juliet sent me an email saying, Linda, because she knew that I had started painting. And she said, you can watch art live. You know, you can watch art every day. And I started watching. And then you asked people to put in where they were. And I started seeing people. I met Christine Nordberg through your group. She lives right across the Narrows Bridge of Tacoma in Gig Harbor, and that's very close to where my mother is. And I just started meeting all these people. And so I have, in person, met about 10 Dreamliners. There have been Dreamliners who have come to Italy. I have Pat, who's coming in about 2 weeks to Italy. I'm going to take her on Lake Como. And it's just been life-changing. I've met so many artists, learned so many new techniques, and it's a great community. You know, if you ask a question on the Dreamliners group, like I asked, how should I set up for an outdoor show? I got so many responses. So many people were so kind, and it's a friendly, safe place to show your art. If you want critique, you'll get it. If you don't, you'll just get very positive feedback from everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I want to do a shout out to everybody in the world. If you are anywhere outside of the United States, and of course we love our US visitors as well, but if you're outside of the United States, go into the chat right now and say where you're watching from. Even if you've never done it before, we want to make sure that you guys are engaged with us and telling us where you're from. What's wonderful, Linda, is that we've created a worldwide family where I now have people, and you now have people that you can call if you're going to be anywhere in the world and say, hey, let's go painting, you know, whether it's Tokyo or China, it could be anywhere. And I'm going to China in June, and I've got a whole bunch of people I'm going to be meeting with as a result of this show. So this is so exciting. So thank you so much. I want to bring Nancy back on real quickly. We got a couple more things to do here before, and some more prizes. So Nancy, I just want to say thank you. Would you tell people how they can join the Dreamline Artists?
Absolutely, and we'd love to have all of you. It is Dreamline Artists, plural, at Facebook. Shoot, I wish I had the actual link.
Well, but okay, they'll find it, Dreamline Artists. And why the name Dreamline?
Well, let's see. Who, oh my goodness, I might have to ask Linda, I'm not sure who brought up the name.
I think it was me, but it was a group effort. I thought we were saying we can't use Streamline, but it should be something close. And I thought of the Dreamliner trains. Okay. And I think that's how it came about.
Well, interesting. The Streamline name is named after the Streamline train, which was designed by artist Raymond Loewy. And the concept was, it was not only beautiful aesthetically, it was also efficient. And that's why I named my company, because I wanted everything to be aesthetically beautiful, but also efficient. So far, I've lived up to a little of that dream, but not all of it. Well, thank you again, everyone. And Nancy, thank you to you. I just really appreciate your leadership on this, and also your team, your leadership team. You guys have done a lot. And I know that there are hundreds of artists involved who have been working and volunteering and helping. So congratulations to all of you. And thank you for that. I want to remind everybody real quickly, we've got some prizes. And here's how you can win them. We've got a ton of prizes, and I'm going to zip through them real quick. Just go to artschool.live and enter your name and email, and then you will be in a drawing before April 4th. We'll announce them on the program, and we have a ton of prizes to give away. So let's just zip through them real quickly. Magazine subscriptions. We have a lot of videos. These are on streaming videos. A lot of different ones we're going to give away. These are from painttube.tv. A ticket to Lake Tahoe and Reno, the plein air convention, and each of our watercolor live, plein air live, acrylic live, pastel live, realism live, also to our Art Business Mastery Day replays, and for next year's Art Business Mastery. And last but not least, the easel brush clip and the value specs, all at painttube.tv. Did I miss anything? Okay. And so just one more, I got to give something else away. I'm sorry. I know that you guys are going to go nuts, but instead of saying pick me, I want you to say, I want to go to the plein air convention. Now, if you've already got a ticket, you're going to have to bring somebody else with you, because I'm not giving you a refund. Just saying. All right. So here's the deal. I want to go to PACE, Plein Air Convention and Expo. I want to go to PACE. Go in there right now and say that. And while we're saying that, while you're doing that, I want you to watch this. I guess I do the montage. Yeah, let's do this montage now. Let's do that. Hey guys, it's Eric Rhodes, and happy Tuesday. Well, I can't breathe, so I'm taking it off. Much better. Hello, it's Dudley Do Right. I hope you're watching. Tune in right now. You'll find out about the hat in just a minute.
I am seeing people take score too soon. I think people are occupying themselves with negative thoughts.
We've got about 46,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so welcome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to YouTube.
There goes another one.
Welcome to Marketing Monday. I'm Eric Rhodes, and today is all about you. It is Feedback Friday. Today we're going to carve up a few different paintings, and we're going to try to make them better. We are live. Anyway, that's it for today. We are here every weekday at 12 noon. Thanks for being here today. I'm Eric. Thank you again for watching today. Have a terrific time, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Probably just better shut up. Have a great day. I'm proud of you guys for tuning in. I'm proud of you, and thank you for tuning in. And have a great day. Go crush it today. Do something positive. Do something that you've not tried before. And thank you. I'm really proud of you guys. Bye-bye. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back with Feedback Friday, and we will be back with Marketing Monday in the future. So thank you again for tuning in. So have a terrific day. 5 years, hard to believe. And make sure to go into the comments and say something. Say something about what this has meant to you. We love to hear it. And God bless you guys. And I am so honored to serve you. That's my goal, is to be of service to you. Thank you to all of my guests and to the hundreds, 1,300 plus guests that have been on this program teaching free. We still have painttube.tv, where we have thousands of art instruction videos. Oh wait, I got to give away. I didn't give that name. I got to pick out a name real quick. Okay, so now we're going into plein air convention, and they got to be saying PACE. They got to go to PACE. So I'm going into there right now. We get there real quickly. Karen Schumacher in Sydney. Karen Schumacher in Sydney. You get to go to the plein air convention. Woohoo! All right, congratulations, outstanding. All right, we will make sure that we get that information to you, Karen. And for those of you who won prizes, you can email me, eric@streamlinepublishing.com, and we will make sure you get your prizes. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks for making this 5 years. We begin the next 5 now, and that's not an April Fool's joke. Whether or not I make it 5 more, who knows? We'll see. All right, bye, guys. Bye-bye.